Okay, I have based it in kind of a mixture of 5 and 6 value. I put my darker value, I think it was about a 2 for the veins, and then I smudged them a little bit, and then I dried it. So now we're going to do a puddling technique, and I'm just going to go back to water, and I'm going to put some water on there, and I'm going to have a wet brush. I'm going to start out using a round. A lot of times the ladies say to use a filbert, but for this technique I've found a round to work good for me. So I'm going to put about a 2 or 3 value on that brush, and we're going to do the darks first. So I'm going to go by this picture right here, picture 30, because it's really easy to see where to put things. So I'm going to kind of start right in here, and I don't have it wet enough, so I'm going to find another brush and make this wetter. Okay, and there's the filbert. Okay, this is wetter. So now let's use this puddling technique. I think I'll put it on with the round and maybe disperse it a little bit with the filbert. So I'm going to come on around here. Let's see. And it kind of follows an inside track right here. You want this, you're going for a kind of a mottled look. And I'm going to end up right about there. Gonna let that dry down a bit. And I'm going to start over here, first making sure that the leaf is wet. My dirty brush. So let's put some in on this side. And come down here and kind of meet what we had from the other side. Okay. I'm going to let that dry down. I'm going to come back over here and reinforce it. Just kind of a wet dabbing. You want to make sure that it's wet, and you're going for a random look. Some areas you want it to be a lot darker. And that's what the puddling does. So see, instead of putting a really dark layer on first, I made 2 or 3 layers to build up that dark. Okay? And we've got some out here on this edge. It doesn't go all the way to the edge, but almost. And over here it does go all the way to the edge. Okay, now let's work on our lights. I'm going to go to about a 7. And I'm going to dry this down first and then wet it again so that I don't undo any of the things I just put. Going to wet it. And then I'm going to start pouncing in some of the lights, and I'm going to start on the outside this time instead of the dead middle. So there's just a couple little areas over here. And then we have some areas in more toward the center. Okay. Let's come over here. Whoa, too much water. Trying to soak a little bit of it back up again. It actually turns out kind of cool. Sort of like that. Okay, now I'm going to come around and just do a faint outline on this edge all the way up, and I'm going to come back with my wet brush and soften that a little. I'm not trying to spread it out, I'm just trying to soften it so it's not a hard line. And get that a little bit right here too. Okay, now I'm going to come back and I'm going to get into an 8 and a 9. I like kind of mixing between the values. And I'm going to put that in there in several different places. Just kind of following the picture. Okay, now I've got good lights in there, but now I need my darks again. So this type of painting is usually a back and forth kind of deal. And I want right in here. Make sure your blending brush is wet enough. This is, you know, like I said, it's kind of a back and forth. And I think it's beginning to come together a little bit.